And welcome to Formula One. We are here at Maracaibo for the King Shop Maracaibo Grand Prix. Another legendary track for the second track of the 2025 spring season. The track, we've got some added graphics. We've got a little pixelated drawing of the track that took me approximately 2 seconds to make, and it is 100% not accurate to size, so no one come for me in the comments. But as you can see, we got this perfectly executed aerial footage of the track layout, just going through the Columbia section to what I've been calling the Tiger section. It's got the orange, it's got the black, it's got some quick corners. We then got these two quite tight corners, one after each other, for the final, kind of like a straight until we get to the finish line. I call it a straight. It's what I'm calling it. And we come here to the end. But we are here. This should pick up the screen. Right. There we go. We're picking up the stream. We're going to be leaving the chat. I've forgotten how to do that. There we go. That's been left. No idea that's correct, but we're going to change the next name. We've got 6 beef. We got 6 beef. Hopefully that's enough. Hopefully that's enough. With I've got the music in the background of the Discord. I think that's good, but we're gonna add the formula music. We're just gonna turn up a little bit, I guess. So we're gonna be late this time. Unfortunately, we are going to be late. Because Pi is going to be late. Sorry, Pi is going to be late. My driver is not there currently. He's here. Where's Seppel? Seppel is there. Seppel's in. This dude is not. Bro needs to get. This is not the best commentary. I can't lie, guys. I can't lie. It could be better. It could be way better. Just gonna tell my drivers. Tell my drivers to join the VC. Normally, you know, we are joined by many people in here, but no one has decided to join. No, you're not going to be speaking at all, so nobody speak. If you're in the VC, don't speak whatsoever. We're supposed to be in a stage, but Fedrer hasn't started the stage, so... As convoluted as ever. I've got some cobblestone. You'd love to see it. Well, it's hard to say that there have been previous drivers who have won Maracaibo. It was a different track. It was a different track. The track has changed every single time. It's the first time the track is the exact same, but in 2022, Saab won, Semicolon came second, and Lemon Seed came third. Lemon Seed's here. He's not racing, but he is here in the track. He'll be watching. 2023, Boo Boo managed to get the win with Mr. Graff in second and Gary in third. And in 2024, Gilo took the win here. Maiden took his home race here. Boo became second and Gabe came third. So, will we see a new race winner? Boo Boo and Saab are both racing. The qualification has meant that Crisis Q has got pole position for the first time in their career. Vaxio has got P3 for the first time in their career. Ferret got P2. Not too sure about Ferret's history of qualification. I can't say any comment on that. Boo Boo's 5th. Gabe is 6th. No, Boo Boo is 4th. Sorry, Gabe is 5th. Seppel is 6th. It's going to be an interesting race. There's a lot of chances in these first couple corners to see who really takes that win. And it's going to be a mix of boat kicking, a mix of a lag, a mix of bumping. But we're going to see what happens. Hopefully drivers pull through the gaps and get into the top positions. It's a very hard track to overtake on. I believe it started, but I'm not too sure. So we'll see what happens. Gaming Agent, Fatty, Patty Squad stuck there. Seppel has all the way at the back. Not sure what happened there. Capworm and Walter finishing off the end of that. Terrible start from Seppel. It's gone from P6 all the way down to P18. If this is the actual race start, which it seems like it is, that is terrible start there. We'll see what happens when drivers come through. I think Gabe, Boo Boo going to be coming through top. You go first driver round, and it is Faxio P1, P2. Who was P2? P2 was Ferric, P3 Gabe, P4 Crisis, Saab P5, Semi P6. We're going to improve the FOV, guys, so we can read everyone's names. Turn off that. Seppel coming through. He's got a lot of space to climb, unfortunately. Duck pits on the first lap. This track it's hard to overtake on, but it's very easy to clip the walls, clip the block stops. You got to remember that even though someone might be in the lead, anything can happen. Faxio coming through P1. Pie the Header spawned in, unfortunately too late. P2 is Ferret. P3 Gabe. Gap between Gabe and Crisis there, P4, and then big gap between P4 and P5. Saab 6th, same story, semicolon. Managed to get up to 6th, starting in P11, he's in 6th. Talby right behind, starting in P12 and he's in P7. What a climb, Fatty in P8. P9 Gaming Agent, great start from Gaming Agent. Fabinosen, then Phoebos, then Patty Squad. Patty Squad up into, I think, P12. Had to climb about 3 places. Capworm still in the end. Boobison is pitted as well. Boobison's got a lot of space to climb in that case, because Boo Boo's going to be right at the back. Boo Boo's just behind Duck, who is just behind Capworm. That's how far back they are. Faxio goes through P1. Ferret behind P2. Gabe, P3. Top 3 are very close together there. It's about a corner between each of the drivers. Crisis got 2 corners between Gabe, and that's the same with Saab and Semicolon behind. So it seems the top 8 drivers are in a league of their own, it appears, as Gaming Agent pits. That's the second Warswell Pegasus driver. there's got a lot of steam to catch. Warsaw Pegasus got P1 on the qualification, and Gaming Agent got around P10. So there's definitely a gap there between the two drivers in that team. Now, something that has happened a lot in the start of the season is Boo Boo has managed to get those wins. After the first 5 races, Boo Boo has got a win or a second place. It's never been a third place. And then, from then on, they do absolutely terribly, and it's called the Boo Boo Curse. Has the Boo Boo Curse happened already? He's in P17 right now. Has it happened already? The question is, how did that go wrong? We'd have to see in a replay later on. As Talby, Fatty and Semicolon all bunched up there. Not too sure who that driver was behind. Paddy Squad, Phoebos coming through. Seems like an Indochina driver pits. Boo Boo bashes into Seppel and gets knocked. Folks, Beth was the one who pitted. Faxio comes through, going to be ahead of Beth there. Big gap between P2 and P3, who are battling it out side by side. We come through here, switch the angle. Gaming Agent coming through, Beth coming through. Gabe and Ferret battling now. It seems Gabe's overtaken and Ferret's got stuck on a block stop. Crisis overtaken as well. Gabe and Crisis go through, overtaking Ferret, and it's Sabis also side by side with Ferret. But I think Ferret's managed to keep hold of it through onto turn 6. Talby coming in behind, I assume, Semi. Fatty then into P8. Still in the same positions even after that big collision that they had at the turn 1 just now. Phoebos, I think, in P12. They've climbed a couple places, still got a big place to Seppel in, I think, P13, Duck in P14. I'm going to say Boo Boo in P15, I'm guessing here. Gaming Agent P16, Paddy Squad will be 17, I think. Beth in P19, Capcom in P20, I think. There's Crisis Q, there's Ferret. There's Saab, there's Gabe. Where is Faxio? What has happened? I don't see the driver. Did the driver pit? I'm not sure. There goes Seppel, Boo Boo, Duck, Gaming Agent. We'll have to see. Lost track of where Faxo was there, unfortunately. There's Crisis Q, apparently coming from P1. P2 Ferret. P3, that must be Faxio pitting there. Yeah, that is. Saab goes through ahead of Beth. Gabe going to be coming out right next to Beth there. It's going to be hard for Gabe there. Gabe behind teammate Saab. Beth pulls through ahead of Gabe. Big gap. Gabe must have got knocked there. Semicolon behind Gabe. Talby behind Semicolon. Ooh, right next to behind Semicolon. And Semicolon gets stuck on the block stop. Fatty behind there, and Faxio as well. Faxio has pitted twice, which means Faxio no longer has any more pits, which is going to be interesting to see what happens after everyone pits. Faxio is going to get back up into those top spots there, and it might force a lot of the top drivers to also pit. Double. Paddy Squad and Duck Go hit each other there. Ferret comes through P1 as Crisis pits. Saab in P2. And it seems Gabe will be P3. Oh, it's close. I think Semicolon is going to be P4 as Crisis comes out ahead of Talby. Fatty behind, and then Faxio. Beth and Semicolon. Oh, Semicolon's gone to the back of Beth, and it's quite a pile up with Crisis and Talby, and Fatty goes on the inside and overtakes Talby and Crisis. What a move from Fatty there. Really took that opportunity there as Semicolon went into the back of a driver. That was some very good stuff. I'm going to be taking a note of that. Lap 9, write that down. Lap 9, so I can have a look back at that later, because that was an insane overtake. Gaming Agent comes through. Ferret comes through P1 as Paddy Squad pits. Duck behind Ferret, and I think that's Gabe who pits. Saab is the one who pits. Gabe comes through in P2. P3 Semicolon. Will Saab come out in P4? It seems like it. He's going to be behind Paddy's squad though. Bev comes round. He won't come out as Talvi overtakes and Fatty overtakes. Crisis Q and Faxio come through. It's going to be interesting to see where everyone comes out there. Paddy squad, Bev, Talvi, Fatty, Saab. Everyone's very close together. Faxio bows it out with Crisis. It's going to be quite laggy between those two. Phoebos behind. Fabi Nosen as a big pile up. Not a lot of clean air between about 9 drivers all together. If I was one of those drivers, I would pit. Faxio can't, he's pitted twice. Ferret comes through P1. We are on about lap 10 now out of 30, I believe. Let me just go double check real quick. Nope, no idea. I think it's Freddy though. That's what the thingy said. Seppel comes through, overtaking Saab and Crisis Q. It appears. Yep, Seppel comes through 8th place. Seppel yet to pit, however, so it's important to keep that in mind. Gaming agent, Ferret comes through P1. Several drivers pit and there's chaos, apparently. I'm not sure, I didn't see it, so unfortunate. Where's P2? That's the question. Semicolon, P coming P2. There's a lot of air for Ferret to pit and will most likely come out at P3 if he pits. P3, nowhere to be seen. This P1 and P2 are completely out in the front. Have they pitted yet? No. That is important. They have not pitted yet, but they are possibly a whole lap ahead of everyone else. Faxio in P4. Just have a look round. Fatty goes round. Faxio's overtaken Capworm and Gabe. Capworm goes in front of Gabe. Gabe gets stopped there. Phoebos comes round. Boo Boo and Saab right next to each other. Saab gets stuck on the block after hitting Boo Boo. Fabi right behind Saab. Crisis goes wide and Talvi nearly got the cut in there. Ferret comes around P1 and Ferret is ahead of Seppel. He's lapped P8. Semicolon's caught up as well. Ferret and Semicolon are out in front. They're right behind the top 6. And here come some of the back markers. That is some really interesting stuff. And for some reason, I have gained items in my inventory. Not too sure how that's happened. Semi is going for his classic late stop strategy, according to Fedrer. Will that work? It's hard to tell. Faxio's quite speedy early on. We'll be able to catch up. Not too sure who Boss is. Oh, might be Phoebos. Capworm. Yeah, Boss is Phoebos. Gabe gets stuck and Phoebos catches up. Booby right behind and Saab as well. Talvi as well. That's 6 drivers close together. Crisis P10. Ferret comes through P1 behind P10. He had lapped P8. Oh, no. Seppel is... Before Seppel was P8, Seppel was P11. That's what happened. Semicolon is behind Seppel. There's a 1 driver between Ferret and Semicolon currently. Will the late... We've got early strategy pits from Faxio and a late strategy pits from Semicolon, and it seems Ferret as well. Will it pull off? It might. There's a very, very big gap. Gabe gets kicked out on the boat on the main straight as Boo Boo overtakes and Saab drives straight into the back of Gabe. Not good there. Talvi then Crisis Q. Ferret comes in behind Crisis Q. Then comes Seppel. Semicolon behind Seppel. Phoebos is pitted. That's why everyone's moved up 1 place. Then Duck. Duck's going to be coming out. Duck and Fabi are going to be coming out at the same time as Phoebos. Oh, Phoebos gets stuck on the corner there. Fabi's gained a lot of time on there on Phoebos. Can they make a move on that time advantage? Faxio slows down on the main straight. Unsure what happened there. And the driver just got kicked. Is there an invis on the track? That is the question. No one's reported one. But 2 drivers now have had trouble with the same point. Driver pit. That's a GCR driver pitting there. Ferret comes through in P8 now. Not in P8, but in the position of P8 because they've lapped P8. Semi in P2 still. Someone trying to cross like a moron. Why would you do that? It's not much. Gabe still to pit as well. Semi is still to pit. Sorry, Gabe has pitted twice, sorry. Semi is still to pit. Come back and look at the main straight as Patty's squad comes through. Fatty still third, Fox still fourth. Gabe comes through P5, Saab P6, P8, P7 Talvi, sorry. Crisis Q behind there, P8. Seppel P9, Semicolon P10. Ferret is pitted. Ferret has taken the opportunity to pit, and they'll be coming out ahead of P3. As Gaming Agent comes around, P3 still nowhere to be seen. There's P3. P3 coming through. Fabianosen behind P3. Phoebos going to come out in there. Then Walter and then Faxio. So it's a couple drivers there between P3 and P4. So Ferry is now pitted. Ferry's got one more pit. And there's still a big gap between P and P4. Sorry, P3 and P4. Oh my word. Fatty apparently. Let's have a look. Has anyone talked about Fatty's pits? No one has asked about Fatty's pits, so I'm unsure. I haven't seen Fatty pit, I don't believe. Semicolon has pitted as Ferret takes P1. Semicolon coming through. And Fatty comes through P3. Fatty is caught up with Semi there. Big gains there. Phoebos, Faxi coming through P4. Big gap between P3 and P4. Lot of space P4 has to gain. Walter gets kicked out the boat and is currently standing on the track. The last turn, he is standing on the track currently. Everyone make sure they go wide to dodge. It seems like they're still there on my screen. That might be completely false. But oh, they've disappeared now. It seems they have gone. That's good. Ferret comes through. Apparently there's a boat on track. People meet the boat to the guy's gone. Boat is still there. So make sure you go wide there on the last turn. Fatty pits, and I think Faxio overtakes, if I'm right. Faxio overtakes, gets caught on the edge because of Capworm, but there's still 3 corners between them. Still a big gap. Seppel should have 2 pits, I believe, or 1. I'm not keeping count. Probably should in the future though. Ferret comes through in P1, lap 22, still 10 laps to go. Semicolon P2. Gaming Agent. Then I think Fabianosen. Then Phoebos, then Faxio. A couple drivers in between there. We've still got to pit. Have they got to pit? I can't remember now. Then Fatty behind Faxio. See that gap. Oh, Fabianosen and Phoebos, a big battle there. Fatty has gained on Faxio. It's gone from 3 corners to 2 to about nearly 1 corner. Crisis and Patty battling out on the straight there, nearly hitting each other. Boo Boo behind. Talvi pits. Duck overtakes Talvi on the pits there. I'm saying overtake, I have no idea. Seppel has gone through the pits. Semicolon goes into his final pits. Yep, Semicolon's gone to final pit. Gaming Agent, and then it should be Fabi, Phoebos, Faxio. Will Faxio come out ahead of Semicolon? It's going to be tight. It's going to be very, very tight. But Faxio's gone ahead of Semicolon. He's got a big way to climb to be able to catch Ferret. Crisis Q comes through P7. Yeah, P7. Buberson and Beth battling it out. Have a look. We follow them round. Buberson looks to have taken the lead. Gets stuck on one of the block stops, and Beth has caught up a little bit. Ferret comes through with Talby right behind. Talby gets stuck on the block stop, and Talby is now nowhere near Ferret. Capworm behind. Gaming Agent, Seppel, Phoebos, Fabinozen, Duck, and Faxio. Oh, Faxio goes into Duck, but Faxio manages to get the overtake. Fatty's right behind Faxio there due to that endeavour. Crisis Q coming through P7. Not a lot of people left to pit. Not a lot of laps left to go. It's currently looking like it's going to be a Ferret P1. As for P2, P3, P4, it is anyone's race currently. Remember, it's about that consistency, and it's about remembering that even if you do mess up at some point, someone else is going to mess up as well. Gaming Agent comes through, Fabinozen and Faxio right behind. Driver pits, I believe that's Talby. No, Fatty is pitted. Fatty caught up to Faxio and has now got to catch up all over again as they've done for their second pit. Semicolon is behind Faxio, however, but Semicolon has got Seppel and Fabinozen behind as Semicolon goes through ahead of Semicolon. Nothing to see there in chat, nothing to see there. Lap 24, 6 laps remaining. As my screen hasn't frozen, there is just no drivers whatsoever. Huge gap there. Walter, and then that's Faxio. P2. There was no drivers, and every single driver is now coming through at the same time. Semicolon and Faxio, I've got about 4 drivers in between them. Let's have a look around here. There goes Walter. Faxio, Fabinozen right behind. Faxio's gone into the wall because of being hit by other drivers. Seppel does the overtake. Faxio gets the overtake in front of their teammate. Semicolon. So it's Faxio, Seppel, Phoebos, Semicolon currently. Galtomy decides to place an ad in party chat. Rookie mistake there, rookie mistake. Ain't nobody gonna see that. Ferret goes for a pit. Now, there was a huge gap. Still no drivers to be seen. Ferret is now gone into the U-shape. Still no drivers. Walter's coming out. Walter comes out in front of Ferret. Faxio has now got nobody between him and Ferret. It's going to be a pace battle. Walter comes through. Ferret on the overtake on Walter, and Walter gets out of his boat and is now behind. Gaming Agent behind, then Phoebos, then Semicolon, Seppel, then Gabe. Gabe and Seppel fighting. Seppel's been knocked. He's slowed down. He's now got Saab directly behind him and Crisis. It's important to note that Seppel isn't in the top 8. He has been lapped, so he's around P9, P10. But he is in that group of people. Ferret comes through P1. Faxio is caught up P2. Lap 26. 4 laps remaining. Walter, then Gaming Agent. Third place yet to be seen as they come through. Here we go. Semicolon P3. Phoebos P4. Gabe P4. Sorry, Phoebos not even there. They've been lapped. P5 Saab. Crisis P6. Phoebos goes on the outside and Gabe gets that lap on Phoebos. Saab now behind Phoebos. Crisis Q. Then Seppel. Then Fatty goes round on Capworm. Gets that over that lap as well. Fabi retires. Fabi has had not had a good round of laps currently, unfortunately for Fabi. And that's an increase that's a decrease in space between Ferret and Faxio. Is there enough time for that to decrease? It's all about consistency now. Still no sign of P3. Those two drivers have got that podium secured. Oh, someone's knocked out on the straight, and Semicolon and Gabe have to go wide. Phoebos and Saab as well. It's huge battle fighting for P3 there. Fatty, Seppel, then Bubusin. Oh my gosh, that was close. Then Duck. Is that Capron getting kicked? I don't know, but there's a driver not moving in the middle of the straight. It seems he's off now. He's moving. It's Walter. Walter is off. The straight is now cleared. Ferret. Faxio is directly behind Ferret. This is so entertaining. Wow, 2 laps to go. Yep, 2 laps left. Phoebos, then Crisis Q, then Fatty gets kicked out of the boat, Seppel gets knocked. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Booby managed to thread the needle. Walter gets kicked out again, Crisis has to go round. Beautifully done by Crisis. Bubusu stuck there, Phoebos gets hit by Crisis, then Walter, then Bubusun. All 4 of them right next to each other. Fatty with Seppel right behind. Duck with a corner between them. Talby comes through, Patty squad. Talby's being knocked back very, very far. Good stuff from Talby, but he just hasn't maintained it. Ferret and Faxio right behind Beth there. Faxio goes into the wall, and that's a huge gap gained for Ferret. Let's have a look here. It's still about a corner between Ferret and Faxio. It's all about what Beth does, to be honest. Is it going to hinder Ferret? Faxio, Beth has been lapped 3 times according to chat, which is nuts. 2 laps to go. Still 2 laps to go. Sorry, I was wrong. Still 2 laps to go. It must be 31 in that case. I mean, whatever the case, you know, keep going. Keep going just in case, because little do people know this. Yeah, actually, I can't actually say that. But make sure you keep going, maybe even for 1 extra lap anyway. Ferret comes through. No sign of P2. As he is caught behind Beth. Faxo right next to Beth there. I told you, it's going to be down to what happens with Beth there. When you're stuck behind the back markers and the people who aren't the most consistent on the track, they're probably going to hit the wall, they're probably going to make mistakes, and it's going to be the driver behind them that's going to be the one that's going to have to deal with that. Saab gets hit on the straight, and Semicolon gets right back next to them, and they're right next to each other as Ferris put them through both as P3. Seppel comes through, technically in the position of P8, but not. Then Duck behind. Where is P8? That was the question. Let's go. Here goes Fatty, and then 32 Talby. Then Walter. Then Paddy Squad. Then Ferret. Faxio is right behind Ferret. Wow, that is a huge gap gained. Ferret's done it again. Ferret has become the GP winner of Maracaibo, their first ever win in F1. They have been waiting for it for so long. They have gotten 4 third places, and they have finally got their first Grand Prix. So congratulations to Ferret. And in P2 for the first time is Faxio. They were an ex-driver. They've come a comeback with Audi, and they have come to get a P2 after qualifying P3. What a drive. And Semi managed to get P3 at their home race. This is an amazing podium for the drivers. Seppel comes through. Seppel's probably going to be around P9, P10. Let's have a look. P4 is Gabe, P5 is Saab. That's a P4 and P5 for Renault Racing, so I forgot their name. P6 is Crisis, P7 Boo Boo, P8 unknown. But what a race! There's a couple kicks, couple things wrong that happened there. But what a race that was! My gosh. Gonna congratulate my driver. I'm gonna message Ferret as well. I had to get out of this cinematography mode. Right, I'm gonna. This is my other driver. over to the podium here as we wait for the drivers. Should be coming to the podium. Still, Patagonian driver has managed, a first Patagonian driver to get a win as well. British driver has got P2 once again. I mean, Gabe is also British and has gotten tons of wins. Brazilian driver also on the podium with semicolon. We're gonna hear the Patagonian national anthem. God knows what that's gonna be. It's gonna be something interesting. But to avoid copyright, we are going to be finishing the stream here because I got a couple of copyright strikes from the national anthems last time. So hope you guys enjoyed the race. Well deserved, all the races. It was a very, very good, entertaining race. Amazing performance from Fatty in particular. The overtake was amazing. I've got to go find that P9. That was insane. That needs to be a clip and a half. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next race.